Peace, it's Daddy-O from the legendary Testarossa, the original hip-hop band. It's time for you to listen to Old Skool Movements Podcast. Remember, we take chains, so tuck them and close them windows.
Yes, another episode of the Old Skool Movements Podcast. We're back again. We've landed back in the 1980s and we're looking around and we're seeing Rubik's Cubes and Walkmans and jogging pants. We're in the 80s. I don't know why I said jogging pants. I don't know. We're in the 80s. Oh, shell suits. That's the word I was looking for, not jogging pants. Okay, so yes.
Shell suits and visors.
You know what? Because the link was there. The visors, yeah, sweatbands. I think that's the word I was looking for. Sweatbands.
I like to sweatband.
Sweatbands were cool, weren't they?
The wrist ones.
They were cool.
Yeah.
The fluorescent ones.
Yeah, not a head one. Yeah, I didn't do the head one, but a wrist one was all
Some
right.
people can get away with a headband.
Yeah, some could.
I was rocking that. No
McEnroe
way.
look. If you had a mullet, you get away with that.
No, I'm not rocking that. So DL,
Yeah.
what we got for today?
Yes. On today's show, it's the verses again. We're coming back with some more verses.
Can we have the horns?
Yeah, horns for the verses, man. We love doing these verses. So what we're gonna have today is like, we're gonna have these in sections. We're gonna go through them in TV form, in cartoon form, and in film form. But we're gonna start with TV form today because when we watch these TV shows that we love, all these action programs we love, you got your cops, your robbers, they're always getting around and chasing after each other. But how did they get around? What did they get around in? What was the best? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going through the best motors of the 80s. We're going through our favorite TV cars versus battle.
Wow.
I love my cars.
Yeah.
The 80s was a time for fast cars, and they starred in they were the stars of a lot of shows.
Yeah, they were the stars of a lot of shows,
They were the stars, innit? Or they were like the third or fourth, fifth member of a show. I mean, if you think about it, most of these ones we're going to go through, a lot of these are like more or less cop cars or undercover cop cars. But you think about the cars that our cops were driving back in the 80s compared to some of these. We had Morris Minors, Metros,
Minis.
You could outrun our cars on foot.
They had the Rover SD1 though, and that was a quick car.
That's about the only one. That's the only one that looked good.
That one, yeah, I love that.
I think it was like 3 litre or something. That's about the only one. The rest were like 1,000 litre. If that, you could outrun them.
Outrun them.
Just jog next to it. Well, I'm gonna go around here now.
See you later.
Can't catch me. But yeah, we're gonna go through some classic cars from the 80s that we loved in our favorite TV shows. Yes, we know there's loads of cars to go through, but we've selected 10 and we're going to pit them against each other and see who comes out on top. As I said at the top of this, we're going to go through cartoon ones on another podcast and TV ones, but today
There's loads of cars.
Film ones, but today we're dealing with our favorite 10
We needed to break them
TV
down.
cars. So let's get into this. Okay, so coming in, first car we're gonna select. We're gonna go straight in there because I said we love our action shows, our cop shows, our TV shows. And in 1975, there was a cop show that came out. They come bursting through the streets with their not yellow. What am I talking about?
Yellow.
It was a red Gran Torino, right?
Ford Gran Torino.
Dusting through the streets.
Then they used to slam the thing on the roof.
Slam the siren.
The
on
siren
the top.
thing.
Burgers, hot dogs flying out.
Yeah.
That's what I used to hate.
Yeah. Wasting
scene.
wasting those burgers.
Good waste of food.
So we got our first challenger. We got the Ford Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch, guys, and up against the Ford Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch, it's got to be the car from the UK. After Starsky and Hutch, in 1978, came our own version of cops running around the streets of London or anywhere in England. You know what I mean? They know what they were doing because they were the professionals. We're going for their Ford Capri. So it's the Ford battle. Which Ford
Capri
are you
the
looking
Ford
at?
Torino. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
The Ford Gran Torino versus the Ford Capri.
It's tough.
difficult.
It's tough, but there's only one winner for me.
Same man.
And it was the sexiest car on a cop show, and it's got to be the one owned by Starsky.
Definitely. Yeah,
Got
I'm
to
down
be,
for that.
man.
Okay.
Coca-Cola
Stacks,
colour.
is it hard for you, Stacks? You're
The reason it's hard is it's not really that hard, but like what Leroy said, it is the sexiest cop car
It's one
on
of
TV.
yeah.
But if
Okay.
it was a question of whether like to own one, I would take the Capri.
okay.
But in terms of the program and how that car looked, has to be.
Has to be, man.
Has to
Iconic,
be.
man.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you like more about the Gran Torino than
Don't know what I like more about it, but it's even though it's an older car, you know, it's
You know what it is? It's the way it's sat on the road with the
It's-
tail end
yeah.
sits up,
the?
and then they
Yeah.
just do burnouts, and you just see it sliding around. All of that, it just looked the part.
the car
And, you know,
chases were all wicked.
Even when Hutch jumps over the bonnet, it's just
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. In Starsky and Hutch, the car, as Chris was saying, it really was the star. But
It
when you think of
started,
professionals,
yeah.
you don't really think of the car.
Of the Capri too much. No, you think of
You know,
them two.
because most of the
I
time they're
do.
on foot.
Mm.
Whenever even now when I switch on professionals, they're running through an estate or something. I don't see them in a car, or they're having an argument in the office. You know what I mean? Or got their
Yeah,
feet
it's
up
true.
on the desk.
It's
It
true.
was true. It starts getting Hutch. They were just pretty much always.
Car
in the
was
car.
always about.
They were
yeah,
eating
always
next to the
hanging
car.
around about, yeah.
They were hanging around the car.
Yeah.
They were.
Go see Huggy
They
Bear.
picked up
innit?
girls next to the car,
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really weren't a Capri fan. I really didn't like Capris. I liked Escorts and other Fords at the time, but I really weren't a Capri fan. So yeah, I would definitely go to Gran Torino.
The
Okay.
Capri was back in the day was decent, mate.
Starsky didn't like the car, man. I mean, he nicknamed it the striped tomato. He really didn't like the paint job, the way it looked. And they were originally going to use a green and white Camaro, but the budget at the time, they could only afford Ford. And Ford said, you know, if you're going to need a few of them, 'cause you're going to smash them up and stuff, the only thing we're going to offer you is the Gran Torino, because it's mass produced at the time. And so they said, okay, we'll have that. We'll have it in this colour. They said, no, you'll have it in red, because it's the standard colour that we do. So that's how they ended up with the red Gran Torino.
It's
is what I heard.
iconic.
But I tried to paint one of my toy cars that color.
Yeah, I think I did, man.
Yeah.
Some of these we're going to talk about, I've done it with a few, but this was definitely one of them. Any red car, you're painting white stripes
Yeah,
on the side of it.
you would.
Do you think if they had swapped cars, it would have worked? So
No,
if the professionals had their car and they had their
no.
The professionals would have been better.
But that car suited Starsky and Hutch because they're in the
for that
sun, the
era.
Californian
Yeah,
sun.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
have that car driving through Bracknell. It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
dull.
what I mean?
You know, sorry, but English weather.
And it looked so much bigger next to like English cars because English cars are so much
Yeah.
smaller than American cars. It would just be
Exactly.
way
It
out of
wouldn't have
place.
worked. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
That was a good question, by the way,
Right. So
because it
we're
wouldn't have worked.
we're all going with the Ford Gran Torino over the Ford
Yeah.
Capri.
Hands
Is that
down.
so?
You doing the
Starsky
same
and
thing? You
Hutch.
saying the same?
Yeah, I'm saying that. That was the car. As I said, the Coca-Cola car. It was the,
It's the
It's the
Yeah.
sexiest car,
You know,
man.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, you see that
Yeah.
bright red color, the car. Sometimes, I bet a lot of kids got in Starsky and Hutch by seeing the car and then
By
said,
having
okay,
the
let me watch this
Matchbox.
program
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of
I mean,
course.
okay,
Car was big.
the program's all right. Yeah,
Every
you know
kid
what I
must have had that in their Matchbox car collection, I think.
Of
It's one of them
course.
ones you don't even
You
remember
wanted
getting
that
it.
car.
It's just there. It's like, oh yeah,
mean?
I got that one.
It was a good car. So
No
yeah,
matter
okay,
what
that's-
version, no matter what size,
Mm.
you would take it.
Mm.
Yeah, it was, and you know, as we were saying, when you watched in Starsky and Hutch, there was a couple of episodes when that car wasn't in it, and it felt like a character was
They
missing.
were missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever
Exactly.
that car, it
Yeah.
felt like, hey, what's going on here? This ain't the same program. They're driving some brown dusty car now. This
Yeah.
ain't, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like they opened a can of Coke now, the big brown car. It weren't good. But anyway, yeah, okay. So it's unanimous. We all agree.
Gran Torino.
Ford Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch is the winner
Hands
in
down.
in the Ford Cop cars.
The
Okay,
American muscle outdoes the UK muscle there.
there you
Does
go.
indeed.
So our next two cars, these cars,
The Italian.
I love these cars.
Both
I
of
love these
two.
cars because these cars are
Iconic.
like iconic, from iconic shows. Like, you know, both one owned one just borrowed one. But hey, we all love a Ferrari. So we're going Miami Vice versus Magnum, and you know where we're going to go with this. Do you like it in red or do you like it in white?
Oh my
Chris,
God.
what cars are
Wow.
they?
You got from Magnum 308 GTS Ferrari from Magnum, and you say Testarossa from Miami Vice, the next edition, the next one up.
Mate,
So,
man,
that
that's a
is
hard choice, man.
extremely hard.
Magnum is that car, man. It's still one of the
That's
most
iconic.
beautiful looking Ferraris ever.
Yeah.
It's not the fastest, it's not the most expensive,
But
but
it is
man.
definitely one of the most beautiful.
and it was driven by a cool character as well. You know, Magnum
Yeah.
PI. It suited everything perfect with
So
that.
you want to be up in Miami or do you want to be in Hawaii? Where you going?
Ooh, both
It's too hard. This one.
both destinations are
Mate,
just
the Testarossa
attractive.
is so
but
nice.
Which car, man? Which car?
Yeah.
Which
car?
car?
Testarossa is good.
Ooh, because Crockett and Tubbs were cool characters.
Miami Vice, they didn't start off with a Testarossa. They had a Ferrari Daytona Spider. And if
Oh,
you
did
remember,
they?
it's still
What, was
it's
it
still
black?
the black one. It's still one of the best scenes. If you've not watched Miami Vice, it's worth watching the pilot because there's like 3 minutes of 20 seconds of Phil Collins soundtrack with them two. Like, I think they're loading up guns or something, driving after they're going to a hit or something on a drug
Yeah,
dealers or something.
I remember
That
that.
scene is just wicked, man. But what happened as well, Enzo Ferrari found out that the Ferrari they were driving was really an American muscle car with a Ferrari shell on top. And he was so sort of annoyed by this, he's like, I'm going to send you 2 Testarossas. From season 3 onwards, you start using them. And that was where the white
Yeah.
Testarossas come from.
Yeah, I do remember
Yeah.
the black
And the
Yeah,
thing is,
Ferrari, so to speak.
Mm.
both cars, their theme tunes, both theme
Yeah.
tunes were
They go
good,
with- they go
and
with
the
it.
cars
they
just
suited-
went
yeah.
with.
Suited
Yeah,
it, yeah.
definitely.
It just suited the
This
theme
is so
tunes.
hard,
It's just,
man.
this is a hard one.
Well,
Very,
you got to
very
choose.
hard.
So what are you saying, Chris?
What are you saying? What are you saying? You because I
All
don't
right,
look
let's
over
give you
yours
the
first.
countdown.
Yours are last. I've got a choice.
I'm going Magnum.
I'm going Magnum too. Yeah. It's the original, and it's still as
Leeway,
good
where you
looking
going?
today as what it was back in the 70s.
A Bush Magnum. Just.
Quattro Valvo.
Stacks.
I just don't know.
You gotta know.
This is really difficult for me.
That was
That's
a
the
good
whole
matchup.
point of it, man.
This is a good matchup.
That's the whole point of it,
Really
man.
difficult.
Which car?
Could you take the roof off of the Testarossa like you could Magnum? I don't think you could. The roof didn't come off, did it? Like
No,
it was
I
on the
don't
Targa.
think so.
See that 308 is the wild. That is a wicked car, man.
Stacks. Shall
That's
we
hard,
come back at the
Stacks.
end of the show?
Because you know what? I was in love with the Testarossa for so long. So many years I loved that Testarossa.
Okay, so that's the one, yeah.
It's very hard. I've got to say, it's hard,
It's hard.
man. It's a draw. I was even tempted to say a draw.
I was going to do a
You know
draw,
what?
but I know we
There's
can't
no
really do a
draws.
draw.
There's no
Yeah,
draws.
we can't. So if
No
I've got to
draws.
choose, I'm going with the original, which is Magnum's.
I'm going with Magnum. 1980, Magnum come out, and Miami Vice 1986.
86.
So
Yeah.
Magnum was the car I was looking at for a long while until that jumped in the scene.
I think that
for
come
us,
out in
so.
76, that car as well, like the model. I'd
Testarossa
still have that
is
now,
so
man.
Nice.
But the white car. Oh.
All right, Stacks, what are we going for?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Testarossa. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go with
Alright.
Miami Vice.
So it's 3-1 for Magnum.
Magnum
love the
scrapes
Magnum
through.
one as well.
It's deserving to scrape through, I think.
Scraping through
Scrapes
in
through.
the streets of Hawaii. We've left the car in Miami. Parked outside
Yeah, man.
with the Judd.
Wow.
All right. So let's go into our next cars. So these cars, these are the cars that can hold more than 2 people. These cars, these cars are for squads. You got a squad, you get your squad in
You
these
need to buy a
cars.
minivan.
Do you know what I mean?
A
These are the
minibus.
80s bully cars. So, and they're both GMCs, because as we were
Both
saying previous
Battle of-
podcasts, the GMCs, the battle of GMCs.
GMCs.
So you see where we're going here, guys. It's been a battle of Fords,
Yeah,
battle of
yeah.
Ferraris, and a battle of GMCs. The battle
Yeah.
of GMCs. So there's the full guy and there's the 18.
Oh God, man.
There's the full guy truck and there's the 18 van. So it's the GMC
Flipping hell, man.
K2500
The Grand Sierra
or
4x4.
the
Oh
GMC.
man.
Ventura.
Two-tone copper and brown.
I love both vehicles.
They're both good.
That's the hardest.
Iconic.
Oh my
They are
God.
very iconic. I know where
And
I'm
they're-
going.
They are members of the team. Because the Fall Guy truck, come on, man.
truck
And the A-Team
or
van.
the A-Team van.
Mate, I know where I'm going.
Come
Instead. The
on.
18 van's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit
The
lately?
Fall Guy
18
truck
all day.
or the
Fall Guy truck is
A-Team
nice.
van.
But the 18 truck, you can't mess with that, man.
The Full
Come
Guy
on.
truck could jump, man. They
Wow.
could jump off of anything, onto anything.
Both iconic teams. but
Indestructible.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's
Ah,
yeah.
You know what I'm going to do?
Right.
If...
Come on.
The A-Team van.
Truck's
18.
bad.
If-
Come
if-
on.
That
Look
that
at
looks
that.
like a
It
pair
is.
of Air Jordans in
Yeah,
black.
It does,
Come on,
innit?
man.
It
It's
does.
just
That's what it
Come
looks
on,
like. That looks like a
man.
pair of
That's
Jordan.
dope.
Air Jordan roller skates. Yeah.
come on, man.
No, I'm going back to if my parents said, "What would you like for Christmas?" The
Yeah.
18 van or the Full Guy truck? I'm going with the
18
18 van.
18
Yeah.
van.
The 18
straight
van.
up.
That's how I'd have to run it.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Yeah, I'd have to run it like that
Yeah.
because the 18 van was heavyweight.
Paintwork
man.
was
That
wicked. Wheels were
iconic.
wicked.
Everything. The lights, the
It
extra
had all
lights.
bits inside it.
Yeah,
Mate, come on.
Man, it had like a gun bolted to the back, weapons in there. It had Hannibal's
Yeah.
closet where he had all these costumes
18
somewhere in there.
van.
And
Yeah,
everything
it's
you needed.
disguised. It's
Disguises.
alligator disguise.
Isn't it? T-Rex one.
yeah.
The little
Yeah,
T-Rex.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, it's cigars,
Oh, shit.
it's beige shirts, it's
Yeah,
cravats.
it's all in
Come
there.
on, man.
I remember it had a mini printing press in one. They were printing stuff in there. I remember they had a little printer in there and
Yeah,
everything in
there
it.
was-
But yeah, no, that was good. If you've got a
Yeah.
crew, that's what you're taking the Vandura, the GMC.
Yeah, I used to love when they
Vandura.
used to rescue people and then they'd have enough space to put the person who they've rescued in the van as well.
Yeah.
I want to add a new challenger.
All right, Stacks, what's the new challenger, man?
The new challenger, my friend,
It's a van.
Pace's Corvette.
It has to be a van, Stacks.
I know, but we're talking 18 minutes.
No, it's not a new challenger.
How many episodes
Sorry.
did you see that?
It
in
does-
there? How many?
It
Yeah,
wasn't
there was
even
enough
good.
episodes,
I don't
mate.
remember
It
seeing
wasn't
it
on enough episodes. We,
It
we
wasn't
did,
enough.
Enough for
It
me to
wasn't.
remember.
we did consider
Nah.
it, but it doesn't
It
fit
wasn't
in.
the
It
fifth or
was-
sixth member.
It was,
Yeah.
you know, we would say, okay, it was all right for the character that was driving it, but
Yeah.
it was all the 18 van all the way long.
18 van.
Templeton
That's-
Peck, yeah.
That was the toy you didn't buy as well. Like,
Yeah.
You wanted the van. You wanted the
Faces
van.
car.
The van. You went the van.
Yeah,
But the
man.
big, you know, the one that the blokes, the damn size ones. You wanted the van. For,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how many people bought the Corvette. It was just the van or nothing. really.
I wanted the Corvette.
Yeah, and that van, even when they done the remake,
It still looked good in that.
It
and
was
a different
still there.
van, wasn't it? I think it's a different
Yeah.
make, but it still looked good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
was
the
it a
18
different
van was in the remake.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it might have been a Dodge, a Ram or something, not a GMC or different.
It
model.
looked the same.
Very similar. Yeah, it's a truck, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
remember. But no,
Looked good,
18
though.
van again.
The paint job.
There's something about the 80s. The 80s really knew how to get a good car in a program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, highlight it. Like,
Yeah.
so we're all saying 18 van. Stacks.
18 van,
Yep.
man.
We're
Hands
saying
down.
18.
But
Yeah,
Fall Guy, listen, Colt Seavers,
Yeah, you got.
we respect your
Yeah, of
your
course,
automobile.
Of course, we
Yeah.
respect the automobile.
We all
but
bought Rough
18
Riders because of it,
van.
man.
Exactly. You could try to stop them.
Stop them 4x4.
Exactly.
Rough Riders, 4x4.
when batteries were expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Ever Readies.
Rough
and the
Rider would last a few
Duracells.
hours,
If you
that'd
wanted
be
a
it.
battery that would last long in your electrical whatever game,
Yeah,
it wasn't lasting long, man.
Nah.
Like, you had to buy
bloody hell,
Not
and they were
enough,
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
And
It
we
was-
you had to get the name brand one because first of all they give you some dodgy ones where it
Yeah,
leak.
the ones
Yeah.
you might get with it don't
The
last.
Chinese
like-
writing.
Yeah.
yeah.
it
we
would start
never,
leaking.
we never calculated. Did you guys ever do this? And we should have done this when I was little. Did you guys ever calculate the total cost when you're getting a toy that needs batteries? That's
No,
what we
you
should have
didn't.
Thank
considered.
you.
No,
There's a
never.
total
We never
cost.
considered that.
Exactly, and that's what we got. think back. Let's understand how our parents felt when we said we wanted that electrical gadget,
That
and
takes
they
8
added
batteries.
up quickly. Hold on, it costs this, but it's gonna cost this now.
Exactly.
I don't know.
The worst is when you got a remote control car. You know, the handset took 4
Oh,
batteries.
yeah.
The car took 8.
Exactly.
Or it took them massive triple double D fucking super big ones.
You remember them super like barrels, like
Like Donkey Kong had dropped them. It's true.
Wow, remember
It's
them
true.
ones? Wow, they were chunky. They were chunky.
massive.
They were
those ones.
chunky and expensive.
I remember
man.
the blue Ever Ready ones.
The ever ready ones. Remember?
Blue,
Jesus.
D size.
Whenever I think of them, do you remember in the 80s, Ever Ready had one that was about the size of a brick, but it had like 2 springs on top. I don't know what
Remember?
the fuck it powered.
Yeah.
But
Remember
everyone
those
had that
ones?
shit. You could have your doorbell hooked up to it or something. Man.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, wow.
It's true.
Damn.
I'm telling you, man, it was a
That
blatant
thing run your
con.
house.
Yeah.
The blatant
Yeah, we
con.
should've-
And if you got it for
That
Christmas,
mercy,
got a
man.
present for Christmas, and you had no
No
batteries,
batteries.
you were fuming because no
You
shops were
needed
open.
Useless.
an electrical. Did any of you ever buy a battery charger?
I think
Yeah, we
they
had
did.
one, man.
They weren't. Well, they
Nah.
weren't great though in the
I
80s.
never had one. I never believed it.
Never
would
had
work.
You'd leave
It's
it
like-
on, the next day all the batteries would be leaking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
couldn't,
true.
Do you remember those days when batteries
Having
used
a-
to leak?
I couldn't imagine having a
You still
device
do.
that just makes the batteries last forever.
Isn't it?
That's not the point of it, is it? It's just
Nah.
No,
gives it a bit extra juice.
just a little extra juice and it becomes dead after that.
It's like intensive care for batteries. Just keep it going for a bit longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick them on the radiator for a bit, you shock 'em.
You know it's finished, but let's keep it going for a bit longer. It's crazy how we were so dependable on batteries. Like
Yeah.
all the little games, the Firefox, the Astro Wars, even
All
down
of
to the little Donkey Kongs.
Yeah,
the
remember
circle
those?
batteries.
The
Like
circuit
watch
batteries.
Yeah.
And exclusive games had that battery that looked like a bin that if you put your tongue on it, it will give you that.
Yeah, and it will
Like
give you that little
P3.
shock. Yeah.
yeah, the square one.
that
Yeah, the
battery.
square. Why did we
But-
used to do that? Because every
It was
kid done that.
because remember, there's no internet, there's no loads of channels, there's no access to films when you want. What are you gonna do when you're indoors?
It gets you ready for something later. when you're
Every
older.
kid done that.
Let's
no.
pick up a battery's dead. Let's pick it up and do that
I
move.
just put my
And-
tongue on
How,
both.
how did that
connections.
spread? How did every kid do that?
How?
Oh, it's training for when you get older and go down on some rough bird.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't know how we got to batteries, but let's move. But these two cars are supercars. These two cars, like, these are blow your mind cars, like, and you both saw them every week, especially in Secret Holidays. They were cars that if you saw them in the street, you'd be like, damn. Anyway, let's get into these cars, man. So look, the first car we're going to go into is the first car I saw a superhero own. And it was just like, it was only a 2-seater, but hey, it was a lovely bloody car, man. We're talking about the 1955 Batmobile.
Yeah.
Right? So up against the Batmobile again,
What can go up
950
against that?
1969. What can come up against the
I know.
Batmobile?
Yeah,
Crazy
it better
car,
be good.
big engine. Batmobile. What's going on? What are you competing with this, ladies and gentlemen? When I first set my eyes on this, there was 2 surprises with this. It's one of the first time on TV. I know Disney done it and all that, but on TV you saw film mixed with
Cartoon. Yeah.
and then the car was this, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Batmobile versus the long, speedy pink Panthermobile versus
Panthermobile.
the Batmobile.
Ah,
We're talking about
the
the
Panther.
Panthermobile. You saw it is the rinking Panther, the pinking
Yeah.
Panther, and he's a Panther there. It is ever so pink.
And
That
the
pink
intro and the
Panther.
outro. Yeah.
Intro and outro. I used to watch it just for
Just for
not
that
just
bit.
for that, but I
Yeah.
had to see
Yeah.
intro and
Yeah.
outro
It's true.
because
You're sad
Yeah.
if you missed that.
You had to wait another
you're right.
week
It's true.
to
It's
see
true.
that car
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And the outro weren't as good as the intro.
Yeah.
If you caught the outro, you were still like, man, I missed the bit when he pulls up.
That car. And the thing is, I don't even know if I saw the whole car. Like, you see it pull up, and then it's
You
and
pretty
then
much
it's,
just see the
it's
front,
a wide,
yeah.
and then it's a
Yeah.
a close
And then you
shot,
see the
and you
back
just
of it
see
at
the
the
kid
end.
and the people come out of the car. But it was just a car and a half.
And I remember as well, when you saw that close-up shot, you saw the inside, and he had black and white TV screens where wing mirrors are meant to be inside the car, and we've got that now, innit? So, they thought of that then when they made that weird-looking whatever it was. It was a mixture of a few cars.
Yeah.
But it was they had that technology. They thought of that then. Oh, let's put black and white TV screens as well.
Yeah. It was just like, and the kid driving it wasn't even in the show. I don't know who he was.
Yeah.
God
Random
knows who he
kid.
was.
But he was just dropping off Pink Panther and Inspector Clouseau
at the Chinese
Chinese
theater in Hollywood.
Yeah.
to start the Pink Panther
premiere.
show.
Yeah, it was
But
premiere
what an
of it.
opening! Like, what an opening!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What an opening! And like, for me, it just worked. But look, we're getting carried away because we've got to talk about the Batmobile, guys.
The Batmobile.
Oh man,
For me,
we talk about that all day.
the Batmobile,
Batmobile.
is the one. Black with red stripes.
The
Like-
Batmobile. Like, they started off
And-
the trend. We're talking about the 18 van.
Exactly.
Yeah. Black and red
Yeah.
stripes.
They had the stripe.
You got to talk about
Exactly.
the Batmobile.
And it had fire. It had fire coming out the
Fire
back.
coming out
Yeah.
that
Come
exhaust
on.
pipe thing. Oh man, that was wicked, man.
My brother gave me his toy Batman, and it had like a thing where you could light a match and put it in the back, and it would.
I had that, man.
Mate.
What's the Corgi cars? It was part of
Corgis,
Corgi.
yeah.
They done a good one.
Corgi was king of
Yeah.
TV movie cars,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
and you had the, like, say you had the Starsky and Hutch one, you'd have Starsky and Hutch in that pose.
Yeah.
Just, do you know that? You remember we used to get toys that wouldn't move, they're just in that
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Like, I used to
Like the
love
army
those
men.
toys, but
Like the
they
army men.
pissed me off. Yeah, you're an army man just laying down.
Yeah.
Loads
Yeah.
of laying down. Loads of standing there.
One for a
Loads have
grenade.
got a rifle. One's for like they pissed. Like what
Yeah.
were we gonna do with those toys? Like,
You ended
had
up trying to
have
bend the
all of
limbs
them.
yourself,
Yeah,
snapping them.
I would play quicksand games. They're the only thing you could do with those men, because they look like they're in positions of falling in
Yeah.
quicksand. Like,
Yeah, for real.
like, they're all in quicksand positions. Like, but
The Batmobile it had a Batman and Robin that sat in it, but they
It
were
had
sat
a
in
Batman,
that.
Yeah.
They were
were-
in that
yeah,
shape, like
but
just to sit in.
but when they made them later, they could come out and
Mine
everybody
come
lost
out.
them.
Yeah, mine come out. That's what I'm saying. They come, but they were in the shape of the seat, like they were.
Shape
In,
of
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
like they had
A lot of
problems.
toys, their limbs didn't move. I don't know
Yeah.
when limbs started to move in small figures, because
Yeah.
there were so many toys. I remember, like, the metal ones you could paint. You could go
Yeah.
on for ages. Like
Yeah.
those war ones. Like, and do you remember? do you guys remember the ones that were like, they were fully painted, but the bottom bit was like metal, and you could
Yes.
get like medieval ones,
Yeah.
You mean
World
like
War
Dungeons
ones,
and
and-
Dragon kind of thing.
No, not even Dungeons and
Oh,
Dragons
no,
kind
like
of thing.
just the-
It was just like different battles through
Yeah,
history.
yeah,
Different battles, but those
And you get
things that
horses,
interest me.
Cavalier
Yeah.
ones and
Yeah.
then the French ones and
Yeah.
all the
You
different.
can even get cowboy ones. You
Cowboy
can get
ones,
like Wild
yeah.
West. You remember those toys?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just
Wow.
didn't interest me, those ones. They were good to look at.
It was just good to look
And
at.
it's
Yeah,
like,
you
you
could.
know what?
When it was set
Yeah.
up in a scene.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
That was it. That's what you
Like,
could do with
and
it.
that's what fooled you. There was a shop used to go past, and you'd see different scenarios in the shop window. So you
Yes.
see a Western scenario,
Bingo.
a medieval
Shop.
scenario, a World War
Yeah.
scenario. And I think, yeah, but I would never afford it. I could never afford, like, to
Exactly.
buy all that.
Yeah.
Like, buy one figure, you got to buy the rest, and that's like a good.
And what would
200
you
quid or
do,
something, innit?
you know?
Yeah, what would you?
How long would you play with them for?
I was gonna say like a train set, but at least the train moves. But yeah,
Yeah.
put them in position,
Exactly.
and that'd be it.
And reenact
Yeah.
the battle.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
that's long.
But sorry, the Corgi,
Nah,
yeah, the Corgi car collection, the Batmobile, you could
with the
yeah, as you
blade
say,
that flicked out at the front.
blade that flicked out, and you
That
could
was
put the
wicked.
matchsticks in it.
Yeah,
You're saying press the button.
rocket
and-
launcher bit.
Do you remember when you had like the triple pack where you get boat,
Yeah,
bike, and that car,
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
big Corgi box set?
yeah.
Yeah.
my
I think I
God.
did get that.
Yeah.
No, it was a
back copter.
boat. It was a
boat-
boat,
the back
back
copter.
copter,
Yeah.
and the
the
back car. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
back copter like had I swear it had like one of them ladders, them little ladders that come out of it,
It
and,
did.
and the boat.
And bats as
Yeah.
you pulled the wings
Yeah.
out to make the propeller. They were bat
Do you
wings.
remember that?
And the spider,
Yeah.
you get a Spider-Man set as well. I think. It was.
And you had a Superman one. So it was the Daily Planet helicopter
Yeah.
and some random blue card
Exactly.
He had a spaceship that had two fists on
and
the
a
front.
spaceship with
With the two
fists.
fists, it used to fly, a little one.
You could press the buttons at the
Yeah,
side.
look at it come out.
It was a blue ship, and
blue
two red
ship.
fists will come out the
I
side.
just remembered that. I used to battle that against my Buck Rogers one, the white
Buck
one.
Rogers one.
They were the same sort of size. They used to
The
battle.
Buck Rogers one. Mate,
remember
the
those.
Buck Rogers.
I love that
one.
Buck Rogers toy, man. That one was like
Corgi.
having the Starsky and Hutch car. That
Yeah,
was,
Corgi was, mate, Corgi, Stacks, whatever program come out.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Kojak one.
Yeah.
Just the brown
the
car.
Kojak
one.
Kojak
Yeah,
was standing next to it.
Corgi just make every single
Professionals
car.
one. The Saint
There'd be
one.
an equalizer one.
Every
man.
James Bond car.
Yeah, I had a Saint Jaguar XJS. That was
Every
wicked. I love that car.
every
program they made.
Every program had a car, man. Ever Corgi, yeah. Anyway,
But going back to Batman, Batman's one of the best looking cars, man. That's a 1955 Lincoln
It was.
Futura, and it was invented as a concept car, which was big for the time. But some designer got hold of it to make the Batmobile, and they just made it more the front, so it had like a mouth and some ears, the bat eyes. Done some bits to the back, and that car is wicked, man.
It worked.
the Batmobile, that was the beginning of, like, every Batman had to follow. That was
Had
the
to have a decent car.
blueprint.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
since the 1960s, this 1950s, Batman has had this iconic car. So when you see us again, it's got to step up.
Yeah.
But
It's set
I
the
don't.
trend
I
for
didn't
that.
even see it as a step up. It's just whatever car you prefer, because I like. Still to this day, this it's probably my favorite Batmobile. This one.
It is.
Michael
I
Keaton.
quite like the new one though. The new
I
one's
quite
like
like
the
the
most
new one, though.
standard, the most standard looking car, and it's still alright. I like it. I'm going Batmobile over Pink Panther, but the Pink
I'm
Panther
going
was
Batmobile. Yeah.
a weird, good looking thing to see as well. on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TV
yeah.
screen.
It had. I'd say it had strength because that was part. Again, it was part of watching the show. It was. It was like, yeah. If you missed that bit, it's like, okay, it's just straight into the cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that. You know,
It was a
but-
mad car, though, wasn't it?
It's a mad car. It's based on an Oldsmobile Toronado chassis with some bits off of a Pontiac, and then the rest was all glass fiber. That clamshell door that opens up, that's all glass
all
fiber.
just
And
pieced
apparently it was
together.
undrivable.
Yeah.
They turned the engine sideways.
like a big whistle.
They put the engine
Oh,
behind the driver, so the big old engine that was in it only powered the front wheels. So it
Yeah.
sort of the
was just there
dynamics
for
of it
show.
weren't right. It was
just
for
there-
show.
It was just there
Yeah.
for that opening credits of the Pink Panther show.
Wicked looking car though.
It was a wicked car.
The whole interior was all fluffy pink, like fabric, loads of pillows. It also had a
Loads of
mobile.
pillows.
It had a mobile phone in it. It had a mini bar, and it had them TV mirror things. So it was like almost a concept of what cars are like.
Future. Mobile phone, 1969.
Exactly, yeah.
So again, unanimous. It is the Batmobile. It kind of would always be the Batmobile because the Pink
Yeah.
Panther, I say, it was just for show. It was, but it was a standout car. You know, when it was
Wicked
both
car.
cars that would,
Yeah, you're right. Completely
stop
undrivable.
there.
Completely undrivable. It's the length of the length they made the front, like that whistle bit at the front as well. You couldn't go around corners.
Well,
in
the
it.
thing is, you sit in front of the wheels.
Yeah. Sit over the front of the wheels in that
So you-
central sort
so
of
you
racing
sit
position.
way
with the
in front of the wheels.
The engine's basically sitting over the front wheels, I think, isn't it? And then
Yeah,
it's an
and then
odd
you're in
one.
front of the engine.
You're in front of the engine. It's an odd
Yeah.
one.
So you're like out on a limb. Like, that's
Complete
weird.
concept, man. Yeah, undrivable. Batmobile would dust it out through the bush.
Yeah. Easy.
Gone.
Right.
What you got
get
next,
into
Steve?
our
This
next
brings us to
car.
our
So-
last lot, isn't it? I think this is our
Yeah,
last
let's
couple.
do this. So you're probably thinking, hey, they've mentioned so many great cars from the 80s, but there's only one ultimate car. They haven't mentioned it yet. But we're going to mention it now because this is the car you are thinking of. Yes, we're thinking of Michael Knight's self-talking, self-driving Trans Am from
Trans Am's
1982. It is KITT from Knight Rider. So now you're probably thinking, so what is that
Who's that
gonna
up
come up
against?
KITT is the ultimate car. What can be KITT? It talks, it answers you, it knows your location,
Michael.
it does anything you
It
want.
knows everything.
It
It
does
knows
everything.
your personal details. It knows what you want for dinner.
There's no
But
car that
this,
competes.
But this car can turn corners like no other car.
See if these guys know what model car this was, because not many people, I think, do. They know the car, but then do you know what model it is?
I think everybody would know.
Do you think they did? I don't really
Yeah.
recall it for being that myself. It was only
That's
Go on,
all right.
go on,
Yeah.
go on. What is it?
Okay,
What is
so from 1983, there was a little program called Automan.
Oh, I was just about to say
Had a
that.
car that would zip around corners,
Do you remember what car? Everyone remembers how it drove, innit? The way.
bright lights, coming out a cannonball run.
Was it?
Cursor.
It
What was it, though?
What car was it, Leroy?
Was it a
Man,
Punto?
I don't know the make of it.
Wow.
But I
As soon as
was
saw
gonna
it, I knew
say-
what
No,
it
I didn't
was.
as well. You know, I struggled with this one when I've got it in my head. The neons, the way it cornered, the way everyone's just got
Yeah,
flung about in it.
It used to turn corners quick.
Because it all
Mate.
happened at night. All the action
Yeah.
in this thing, it only happened at night. So I know it for like a Tron car. I never
Yeah.
really knew. I wouldn't have thought it was an Italian sports car.
So guys, so you remember Automan? Automan was a computer nerd, and the cursor would come out.
Yeah,
it
his
was-
little mate.
It
It
would
was
make
just
anything
raw.
he wanted. So he made
Yeah.
helicopters. He
Motorbike.
made any bikes.
Yeah.
But what used to go around in a lot was a neon Lamborghini
Bikini Countach.
Countach.
DL, you've done it again.
I wouldn't have said it was that, but it was a wicked looking,
Brilliant.
flashy car.
I think that's the first time I saw a Lamborghini. Like I
Yeah,
connected
you
it
probably
with
right.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah, no, mine
I
was
connected
Cannonball
it
Run.
with it. I was like, oh wow, that's the same car they got in Cannonball Run. Kind of thing,
Ah.
or one or the other. So I fell in love with this car, man. But as I was saying, Automan didn't last long. It was one of those.
Yeah.
It's
One
one, of those.
season.
Isn't it?
Da-da-da.
Didn't last long, but the car was so memorable. So
Oh, God.
memorable.
Yeah. It's one of the best. It's still one of the best Lamborghinis, though.
That's on Magnum
Yeah,
level,
the
iconic
black.
80s.
It's
Yeah.
You ain't
iconic.
getting a more iconic car in the 80s as the Lamborghini Countach.
What are you guys
It's
going
true.
for, man?
Wow.
I love the
Automan
Countach.
car.
I love the Countach.
I love that, man,
I do
'cause
love the
it-
Trans Am. I've always loved the
But
Trans
it's
Am.
KITT.
so-
There's nothing to compete against KITT. I got to give KITT full credit, man, for what it is, man. That car's, it's not the best looking, but it's what it can do, man. It's man.
Yeah. Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
is hard.
KITT turbo boost.
But you got to remember,
pick
Automan's
you up.
car can turn into anything. This is a cursor, and
It's
it makes
true,
that
yeah.
car.
Cursor, innit? Yeah.
So you can make anything.
This is
But
difficult.
no, but the thing is,
In TV world, I'm choosing the Automan
You're
car.
going with Automan.
In the
Nah,
real
but
world,
you know what?
I'm still choosing the Automan car.
no,
It only
but you
works
know
at
what?
night.
With KITT does enough, man.
KITT does,
You
doesn't
could
it?
sleep.
Oil slicks. It does the
You-
Can you imagine
gas
what this can
behind
do?
you.
This is stats. Can you hear what these people are saying? A car that talks compared to a car you don't have to
No,
park.
but KITT
You can put this
does
car in your
everything.
You can put this car in your
Yeah.
pocket. You put it in your pocket
No,
and it turns
that
into a
is the
car.
cursor.
It's not
the
it's not
cursor.
like your mate.
Yeah,
It's KITT would be
The
your
cursor's not
mate.
the car.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
not
turns into the car. When you want the car to appear, it would appear.
Yeah, but Cursor done a motorbike. There was one scene where she, the Cursor
I
done
remember
the
the
motorbike.
motorbike. Yeah, done a motorbike.
It does
it
everything.
can be
but
whatever you want
Cursor
it to
is
be.
not. No, I'm sorry.
Yes, you
KITT
can.
is the bad man.
I'm going
KITT,
with
no,
KITT as
I'm
well.
sorry.
KITT's
It
the
can go
one.
wrong.
KITT
Michael,
can chuck you out the
you
freaking
have
roof,
two
man.
cars.
Yeah, yeah,
Either
yeah.
side.
It can eject you out the roof, bro. It's
Listen,
But you can have
he
this in
can
your
talk
pocket.
to KITT on his watch.
exactly.
KITT,
It can come
for
pick
me.
you
It's in
up.
your
Come round the
pocket.
corner, pick me up. Okay, Michael.
Stacks,
I've had
Stacks,
too many beers. Get me home.
Stacks, you come out of a
Grab
club,
ya.
you pull this out your pocket and just put it on the road and it appears.
Only at night though.
Other than walk out the club, KITT, come and get me.
And then you have to wait for it to turn up.
I've already seen Automan work at night. KITT works during the day.
I've got to wait about 2 minutes for Cursor to draw this car. With KITT, I'm round the corner. Come get me. Okay,
How long
Michael.
does that take? How long does that take?
Turbo boost.
KITT might be in
Turbo
traffic.
boost KITT.
He
So
might have people
bad.
around it.
No, KITT was.
He ain't this dusty. He ain't knocking down people. He's got to
Yeah,
wait
yeah,
till the
yeah.
crowd goes.
No, listen.
He had
KITT
4
was the
driving
one.
modes, man. He had
KITT could
pursuit
drive
mode,
on 2 wheels,
quiet
4
mode.
wheels, turbo boost. It had laser. When it was updated,
Do you
it
not
had a
remember how
laser
this
gun
how this
coming
car
out
used to
of it.
take corners?
Sorry.
That's all I remember. Yeah.
They're talking about
Round the
turbo
corner.
boost. Yeah.
He's talking about turbo boost and how. Did Chris say the Tron car? Do you know what kind of
It's like-
levels we're talking about?
Yeah,
when
it
you're
was like
saying
the Tron
when
car.
you're associating Tron with this car. Come on, man.
Nah, man,
That's
I'm sorry.
levels.
Nah.
How could you be sorry? Don't be sorry. We understand.
2000.
But it only works
No,
at night,
sorry.
is what I remember. KITT's all the
Nah,
Yeah,
time.
we don't know that for
KITT.
sure.
All
but
day,
yeah.
every day.
Oh, Michael,
He's like
I
your
have
mate.
somebody trying to break in.
Mate, I do love KITT. Don't
His
get me
list
wrong,
of
but this
add-ons
car-
is amazing.
add-on. This is
Listen.
in your Chris.
KITT had so much functions.
It's too many functions,
KITT.
too many buttons.
We're gonna have to go
Steering
down.
wheel was
We're
wicked.
gonna have to go
No.
into the sea. Okay, Michael.
You could analyze shit in it. It had like an analyzer. You could put dirt in, and it'd tell you.
Anyway.
KITT couldn't go on water.
Stacks, what
Michael.
are you choosing? Stacks, what are you choosing? I've had enough of this.
Stacks is turned into Oscar.
Where's Oscar?
Chris crack me up.
You put dirt in it,
little
bro.
tray you could put dirt in.
It'd analyze it. It'd have some like spectrum analyzer, not spectrum analyzer. Most cars have them. It'd have some chemical analyzer.
I'm sorry,
dashboard.
man. I'm sorry. KITT was the one.
It was
This
wicked.
is
I love
this is
it.
very, very difficult for me. This is
difficult.
This is almost more difficult than the Ferraris.
If I have to give them
Like-
points, it'd be 5-4. For my love of 80s cars, I give it to KITT.
It wins.
Countach is the 80s.
Countach is iconic 80s supercar.
It is that and the
It is-
Ferrari. That is 80s at its best.
I do you know what? I'm just gonna have to say it's a draw because
We can't have draw. I want to
Between the
draw it,
two,
but we
draws.
can't have
And the
draws.
thing was,
I can't choose between them.
KITT was the star of the show.
Yeah.
Forget the Hoff.
Michael was the
KITT was-
co-star,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
he?
only
That's right,
car that you've mentioned that was the
Yeah.
star of the show. Good
Yeah.
night. End of. See you later.
Yeah.
All of them shows, Airwolf,
yeah.
Street Hawk. You didn't really
Yeah.
watch it for Jan Michael Vincent or the geezer. I don't even know the dude who
No.
fucking drove the Street
True.
Hawk.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, who? Yeah.
Mm.
What is the guy's name? Was who wrote Street?
Jesse, that's it. But I don't know his name.
We didn't know
I didn't
him. We
even know
didn't
that.
care. We just
Yeah.
wanted to see the fast
See the
motorbike.
bike.
That's it.
Yeah.
Knight Rider is the ultimate star of
It's
all
the star.
TV
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we all saying that Knight Rider is the ultimate star of all the TV cars we've mentioned tonight?
Like, hands down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say yeah, I'd say I do
Hands
like
down.
Countach,
Because
What other car had that? What other
That's
car
true.
had that, man?
exactly.
Mm.
Them Cylon features.
Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Stacks, you're running late for work. KITT, turbo boost. I'm just gonna have a nap.
I'll just
End of
auto man it.
True.
I'll auto man it. I'll get there quicker.
No, man.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You have to have a night job. You have to work night shift.
Exactly.
Okay. Forget the TV fantasy
sounded
world.
like Joe Pesci.
In the real world, if those cars were all offered to us, which one you taking?
Oh.
Which one you taking?
I'm either taking
Countach might be the Countach,
it might be either the Countach or the GTO. Or
I'm
the
saying
Testarossa.
the Batmobile or the 18.
Oh, I forgot about the Batmobile.
or
and
the 18
van.
man.
We could all go out in the 18 van.
Batmobile or the 18 van.
Why would you want the 18 van in the streets of London?
We
Why
could all
not?
just chill in it.
Yeah, why not?
You'll be showing off. You're just showing off, right?
It's the 18 van. If we've got any of these cars, we're showing off.
You're hanging out the sunroof in all of them, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, give me KITT all day.
So you're not showing off with KITT, no?
Innit?
Listen, I'm just being lazy because KITT's driving me. I'm
No,
being
we're talking about
chauffeured.
in the real world. In the real world, you had
KITT
any
will
of these cars in the
chauffeur
real
drive
world.
me, man. The main thing is when I'm passing police, I just have to look like I'm driving. But Leroy, where do you want to go? Take me to Harlesden.
Stacks, has he heard what I've just said?
I'm
He
hearing
hasn't.
you.
He hasn't heard. He hasn't.
Some cars
yeah.
do that
I'm hearing
nowadays.
I'm hearing
Yeah,
you.
innit?
There's
How
a
come
few
you ain't got
electric
one
cars
now?
that do that nowadays. Yeah, just take me to
Yeah,
Harlesden.
yeah.
You ain't got
How
to
come
drive.
you ain't got a test
Don't
to
worry.
drive you
KITT
now?
In the real world, will take me to anywhere I want to go.
You know you can get an Uber, yeah. You don't even need to talk to them. You just fucking.
he just
Just on the
he
phone.
just sit down.
There's no verbal
Play
communication.
this music. Play this Tribe Called Quest album.
No,
All right.
because that's the equivalent of that car in Total Recall. Nah,
Johnny
I want
Cab.
KITT.
Johnny Cab.
yeah, the Johnny Cabs. Yeah, no, give me KITT all day long.
All right, so it looks like KITT is the winner on our favorite TV cars versus battle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be jumping into some more versus
There'll be more of
battles
that to
pretty
come.
soon. So yeah, cars.
Cars.
So until then, we'll see you guys again soon. Peace.
DL, we
Yes,
have
my
to have a
brother.
lively outro, my friend.
All right, sing us a song.
Play away, way.
What is that?
Innit?
Play away.
I remember it,
I
do
didn't
remember
hear that. It didn't sound like that.
Brian Cant. He used to live. I think he lived in Chiswick.
Well, how come Chris knows it and you don't know?
He remembers the
Play
program, not the way you sang the
away.
song.
He knew. fucking you.
It had them two dudes on it, innit? They were on everything. It was Brian Can and the other dude with the afro. Yeah, it used to grow out the
Derek.
sides. You could play the guitar and sing.
Or was he on Plague School and stuff?
Yeah. Derek.
I don't
Derek
care.
something.
Derek Griffiths.
Derek Griffiths. Yeah. He used to be on it as well. Them two are wicked.
Wait. That's how you sing it. And Chris knew it.
Until next time, guys, we love you. Peace.
Peace.
Till next time.
Those were the days I remember.